when the United States wanted to fly to Afghanistan through Russia, that kind
For
of
example,
thing.
because I think that the
Islamic threat.
America and Russia were best friends the next day after
September 11th.
September 11th, when Putin came on air and said that we are with America, we suffer with America, we support America. That was, let's say, a really friendly handshake. Something has been broken since that time. But I think that unfortunately, maybe we need some kind of other challenge for all of us to understand that we are friends and not enemies.
The U.S. is gearing up for another election. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be, at least the U.S. will have a new president. Maybe that'll be an opportunity for rebuilding the relationship. Who do you rather see in the White House? Would you rather see?
No. No.
Are you a businessman or a politician? You're talking like a politician. Come on.
First, I'm a businessman. I live in Russia. I don't predict even the result of next elections in Russia.
Oh, wow.
Why do you want me to predict
that means you're a very
result of
conservative man.
elections?
You've got a lot of interest. And sanctions, remember last year, we heard a lot from the Obama administration saying that, look at how much the ruble's weakened. That's because sanctions are working.
Well, I think that ruble is more dependent on oil prices than on any other factor, including sanctions. And if you ask me about our, let's say, internal problems and sanctions, I would say that our internal problems in our economy, in our functioning of our economy, maybe gives a bigger input in currency problem than sanctions.
And how have the sanctions affected you?
Oh, nobody is immune from, let's say, influence of external factors, but formally we are not under sanctions. Of course, the general situation would be better without sanctions, because it doesn't allow us to borrow more money at a cheap price.
Yeah.
It creates some psychological problems for our partners sometimes. But I think that in oil prices, it's a certain trade or a certain compromise between the traditional producers and their budget targets, and between shale oil and the new, let's say, technologies. It's a certain trade and a certain attempt to find a compromise, a balance.
Right.
And
many people say that's roughly where we are now.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Maybe we are around some kind of balanced situation, but the technology improves very fast, right? That's why when we say that now it's more or less balanced, it might change within quarters.
Whereby you can have more production, more supply, and a lower oil price.
Lower price. But again, it's a trade. When the price is too low, there is no encouragement for the investments in shale oil. When it's too high, the traditional producers are not satisfied. If somebody could know or predict the price for a commodity such as oil, it would become the richest. It would become the richest man in the world, right? That's why we are talking about.
You're the richest man in Russia, so you're not a bad person to ask.
And that was without oil.
I was without oil.
In my portfolio.
Yeah.
Which means that we have potential.
We don't know about that. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Planet Earth. Life here is getting better. Big businesses and small are crossing more borders, bringing prosperity and optimism into people's lives. This is the power of global trade. Of course, there's still a long way to go, but the more the world keeps on trading, the better it's going to get for everyone, everywhere. That's why we'll deliver today, tomorrow, and the day after.
What a beautiful thing to behold. The sum total of all human endeavor. Our our triumphs, our follies, our passions. It's the collective story of humankind, told second by second, in changing highs and lows. Welcome to a market and all markets. Welcome to FX Pro.
It was supposed to be another straightforward victory for incumbent FIFA President Joseph Sepp Blatter, but because of the US Department of Justice indicting 9 current